you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. As long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. There we go. This is the last ever show for Accountants and Bookkeepers. Rebecca, thank you very much for joining me.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for asking me, Ashley.
Oh, it means an awful lot for me that you're here. So let me just put that one there up, because that oh, it's not that one. I've had so many different things here. Is it that one there? That was what I was doing before. And so this is the last ever show. So I want it to look like the next show, because I'm not leaving.
No,
I'm still gonna be here doing a live show regularly, but I won't be doing one on a Tuesday and I won't be doing one on a Wednesday.
Okay.
And that's all down to you, Rebecca.
My fault.
Yeah, it is your fault, but thank you. First of all, before we go any deeper, tell everybody who you are.
So yeah, I'm Rebecca Bonnington. I'm the CEO and founder of TriCrest. We created the Kick-Ass Culture coach methodology, and we train other business coaches and consultants in our methodology. I'm the author of a book called How to Outshine the Rest, and I've got a new book coming out in December called Building Businesses from the Inside Out. We put culture first. That is me in a nutshell. Ashley, where have you gone? Oh, there we go.
just went to get that book.
Thank you. Available on Amazon.
Yeah, no, and that's a very good book too, and quite an easy read. It's sort of like some of these books are just like, oh, really, just dripping on. How did we meet, Rebecca?
LinkedIn, of course, Ashley. Where else?
But so you saw me doing stuff on LinkedIn and asked me to come and do a talk for your group.
I did, because I really like the way you come across. I love your energy. I love your brand. I love that you're straight to the point. And I said, why don't you come and talk to our coaches? We do live supercharge sessions with them twice a month, and we invite people like you on to help them grow their business coaching and consulting businesses. And that's how we got to know each other.
Yeah, all because of dear old LinkedIn. I'm just going to say hello to Peter Nichols. He was a guest on my show a few weeks ago, on my Tuesday show, which will then become my Monday show. This is too confusing. Okay. But yeah, hi, Peter, how are you doing? He's an octogenarian, but he's still running his business and having absolute fun. So yeah, I guess we could class you as a coach, couldn't we, Peter? So I came on. We did that little session, then I ended up on your podcast, and then as a sort of like thank you, or I don't know why did you volunteer to give me a little bit of your wisdom?
Because you were so generous with your time and what you gave our coaches. I said, what can I do for you, Ashley? And you said, well, I could do with a little bit of help with my business. So I said, that's absolutely fine. And I think we spent 45 minutes, an hour together on Zoom. And
we did.
You told me about your business, and I supported you to make some key decisions.
Yeah, and they were huge, because when I started my business, I was going to be a coach and help accountants, and I wasn't allowed to do that because I had an anti-compete clause. So I ended up doing LinkedIn, and I thought, well, the only way to do LinkedIn is to teach people, and it had this little course. And you turned around to me, you need to stop that. And I was like, no, that's my only source of income. And it was, but I trusted you. But you helped me deconstruct, right, and simplify my business. So can you share what stood out in that session, and the way it inspired you to guide me?
Yeah. So when I listen to people tell me about their business, I listen at the macro level, at the highest level. And what you kept telling me was what you loved doing most. Okay. And what I in my coach brain, I go, well, usually what people love doing most is the thing that they can earn most money from.
Sure.
And sure enough, what you love doing most is the public speaking. You're very good at it. You just come off stage from Account Tech. You're very well regarded in that field, and rightly so. And you really like working with individual businesses. Now, serendipitously, that means you earn bigger chunks of money when you work with individual businesses as a coach and consultant, and when you deliver value. What you were doing online was lots and lots of little bits which was earning you lots of little amounts of money, but you were putting in so much work and spending so much time. And I could see when you were telling me about it, it was draining your energy. It wasn't giving you energy. And so it wasn't my decision. It was the way you described it to me. It was really obviously what gives you energy is what earns you the most money. And that's where you need to put your attention, which means you've got to let something go, because you can't do everything. It's just you. So you had to let go of something to make space for the stuff that gives you energy and pays you really, really well. And it has worked out beautifully, as I suspected it would.
Yeah, but you're experienced and you know this. But I should know this because I'm a coach. Yeah.
You're too close to your own stuff. You're way too close to your own. I'm too close to my stuff. I have a non-exec chair who is my mentor and coach because I'm too close. We have Tammy in our business who I've put in charge of global domination because she's working out how to maximize our products and services. I'm too close to them. You need that external perspective because you can't see the wood for the trees.
So for any small business owner listening right now that is probably hearing the same sort of thing, what should they do right now, Rebecca?
If you suspect you're a busy fool, and if you're working...
Is that a backhanded compliment?
Yeah. And if you're working so hard and getting nowhere and seeing tiny returns for your efforts, get in touch with me, Rebecca@tricrest.com. Listen, if money's short, we'll work out a way of doing it. I'll get a few of you together, or I'll put you in touch with some of my other trained coaches. But please get in touch because you don't have to live like that.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. It really was mind-blowing. It really was mind-blowing. In fact, I recorded this little thing, little video that you've used. I'm just going to play a little.
If you're a coach trying to sell what you do, then stop what you're doing right now and speak to Rebecca Bonnington. Oh my goodness. I've just spent 45 minutes with the lovely Rebecca. She has blown my mind, and I've got notes and notes and notes, loads of stuff that I need to do. And you know what? The very first page I wrote, I know, but Rebecca told it to me straight. She's given me some amazing ideas, and she's going to catch up with me again in July to see what I've done. But I'm so fired up, and I know that what she says is so right, and it's going to change what I do. Yeah, I'm over the moon. I cannot believe.
And I recorded that straight afterwards because, when someone asks for a testimonial, I'm happy to do that. But in that moment, it was like, I don't know, it was just like a light bulb going on for me. It was just incredible. And it was like cutting off my arms and my legs. So I just trusted you. But I think I'd come to a point in the business where I thought I need to do something different. And so like you say, it's serendipity. You were here at the right time.
Yeah,
you were definitely here at the right time.
When the pupil is ready, the master appears all the time. And individuals out there know when that time is. They're just sick of hitting their head against the brick wall. They know there's something. They're not quite sure what it is, but they know there is something that needs to change. And that actually, it doesn't mean that one day you might go back to that delivery to many people at a lower cost, but it'll be a very different proposition because you'll have built your name and your reputation, and you'll have built a waiting list by then of people who are clamoring to work with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you pushed me to cut back three core products that I do, or services, or whatever you want to call it, because I don't know if you remember how many I had.
It was like, I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm looking at. There were so many. And listen, I have done exactly the same, Ashley. Everybody does this. This is no judgment on anybody. Everybody does this. They go, I need to offer more and more and more and more and more. but actually what you do is you offer less really well. So a choice of 3 really helps people make a decision. Otherwise they can't make a decision. If there's too much choice, they can't make a decision.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think business owners tend to overcomplicate? And why is simplification the key to growth?
Yeah, so they overcomplicate their offering. And I had it with a woman the other day, really smart woman, great financial brain. And I distilled it down to, she has a product and a system where if the business owner gives her the figure that they want to exit for and the time they want to exit by, she has a system to work backwards and know exactly how to get there. All right.
Wow. That is
so
cool.
Yeah, I mean, she's really smart, but she went all around the houses with it. And I went, so basically you want to talk to business owners who know what they want to exit for and know when they want to exit. So your strap line is, tell me a number, tell me a time scale, I'll work it out. And she was like, oh, that's great. So don't bother with the rest, the faff, the detail, because nobody can process that. And actually nobody cares how you do it. They just care on the outcome. So focus on the outcome that you give your clients. So one of the questions I ask is, what do you give your clients or allow them to do? And keep it simple. So chunk higher and higher and higher until you've got the most simplified form.
Yeah, and that the advice there is to pick up the phone and speak to your favorite client, your best client, your happiest client, and they'll be dead honest with you, won't they? Or they should be.
They will. Yeah, they will. We've been able to refine our offering because the feedback of our coaches, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you? And their feedback is constantly, we want to know how to develop business. We want to know how to get clients. So guess what we've developed? Business development for business coaches, because that's where they tell you what they want and then you give it to them.
Yeah. So communication, listening, and those are key skills, aren't they? So one of the biggest changes was for me to put more value on my time. He told me to increase my prices, which is difficult. How do you coach business owners through this mindset? I can't even say it. Mindset shift of valuing their worth. How do you do that, Rebecca?
So I'm quite a hard-hitting coach.
Yeah.
I'm not a coach. I don't pull my punches. I don't believe in beating around the bush. None of us have got enough time. If you don't value your time and what you do, nobody else will. All right. That's as simple as that. If you want to spend the rest of your life, scraping together a living and running around like a headless chicken, feel free. If you actually want to have more time and more money, then you need to value what you do. And it is absolutely not based on time. The first thing we teach our coaches is, will you stop charging based on time? Please. It's such a waste of time. Everybody gets into a right state about how many hours they've worked. If you're delivering value, your pricing should be based per project or value. Okay. End of. The time works itself out. You actually, when you deliver value, you spend less time with the client because you're equipping them. It's the old story. You teach them to fish for themselves. All right. You are not doing the fishing for them. And when you teach them to fish themselves, they're much stronger, fitter, healthier. And the other analogy is Nanny McPhee. You're there until they can stand on their own 2 feet. And that is your job as a coach and consultant. You're there until they're off and away. It's like raising children. They're off and away and they're independent. That means you've done a good job. If they're still relying on you 10 years later, you've done a rubbish job.
Yeah. You're not a very good coach.
No.
Maybe they're not a very good business owner, and maybe they should go and get a job.
Well, it becomes an interdependent relationship then, doesn't it? And actually that's like, you become part of the furniture. Part of the coaching consulting offering is that you're a fresh pair of eyes. If you've been there too long, there's nothing fresh that you can bring.
And so one of the other things that you were doing was for me to start looking at decision makers and building strong relationships, which I've been doing forever. How's this a game changer for other entrepreneurs, and what would you suggest they do?
It's just quicker. Just get straight to the decision maker. It's just quicker. Got the crap. What I suggest you do is you either get on LinkedIn and you make it your business to find the decision makers in your sector. And that decision maker can be different for different coaches and consultants. Okay. You decide, and my brother has a great expression, you're looking for the MAN, the person with the money, the authority, and the need. You need those three things. All right. And you just target them. You make it your business to go where they go. So you go to their conferences, you go to their membership events, you go to their annual general meetings, you go to where they hang out on LinkedIn, you connect with them on LinkedIn, and you become part of their community so that they begin to know, like, and trust you. And it takes time. Oh my God, the number of people go, I've been doing this 3 months and I haven't got anything. It takes like years. Okay.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. And this is the thing. So what advice have you got for people that don't have that time?
Yeah, you'll find ways of making money along the way. So you've got to be creative. Necessity is the mother of invention. And, you know, what you were doing in the early days was perfect for the early days because it got money in quickly and you were able to sustain yourself to get to the next stage. And that's the way to look at it. So we've got some of our coaches who are still doing stuff on day rates as contractors while they build the coaching consulting bit. You do what it takes to get to where you need to be. And sometimes, yeah, you will take a lower coaching rate in order to win a client, to get that experience. You've got to be fairly pragmatic in the early days while you build that reputation and while you build those muscles, if you like, and evidence of what you're capable of delivering. And whilst you're doing that, you're refining your offering and your skills all the time. It's really good experience. Yeah, it just takes time. We've all been there, Ashley. You decide what you want, and then you decide what you're prepared to give up to get it. So I was prepared to give up shopping at Jigsaw, and I swapped it for shopping at New Look and Primark. You know, I was prepared. I didn't buy coffees from coffee shops for several years to save money. I downgraded my car. I didn't buy fancy anything for a long, long time because I cut what I took out of the business every month. And that's my choice. I still contributed my half to the household bills. I still did that. It was really important to me. But you decide, for me, it was just much more important to have that freedom of direction and over my own destiny than a fancy outfit from Jigsaw. It's up to you what's important to you.
And that is the thing. When you're an entrepreneur, a solo business owner, whatever you want to call yourself, it's like yesterday. I don't know if you saw my post on LinkedIn this morning, but my little grandson came in here yesterday, and so I got down on my hands and knees, and he said, "Do you want to come blackberry picking with us?" And I had this really important podcast that I had to upload. Okay. And I had to create a new show for next week. So I had all that to do. It's really, really important. But I just turned around and he's more important. So we went blackberry picking. And guess what? When I came back, that podcast was still there for me to upload. It was all still waiting for me. It really didn't matter.
No.
As long as I uploaded it by 5 a.m. this morning, nothing else mattered. Exactly. And I think that's what's valuable to me. Yes. Than the new car and the flash holiday and the shopping at Jigsaw, wherever that is. I just thought that was a little thing that you put together when you were bored.
The fancy women's clothes shop.
Right. Okay. It's gone right over my head. It's gone right over my head. You've coached many business owners, okay, including myself, through significant transformations. Yeah. What would you say the next big challenge is for entrepreneurs in today's market? Because there's lots going on.
Oh yeah, the landscape's changing very, very quickly. So entrepreneurs are great at adapting to new landscapes. Corporates find it much harder. I think we have to be nimble. We have to embrace the AI that's coming, use it, adapt it to what we need it to be. Don't just copy and paste, because that's a waste of time. And the agility to do what you've done, Ashley, to go, that was okay for then, I now need to do this. And you know, your target market has been fairly consistent. What entrepreneurs need to do is keep their eyes on that, because that target market may change also, and you may need to change your approach. So it's that consistent ability to have flexibility in your model, in your approach, and constantly review it. We review what we're doing every 2 weeks and go, are we on the right track? Are we doing the right thing? Do we need to tweak? Do we need to change? When years and years ago, I did some presentations in the offices of Skyscanner, and I was speaking to one of their chief honchos at the time. It was before they sold, and they said, we will look every 7 days at our business model and how we're working and what we're doing, because it changes so fast. And I think entrepreneurs have an advantage over corporates and bigger businesses, because we can change on a sixpence.
Yeah, as I've proved.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will, because we can do that, we can overtake and leapfrog some of the larger, better established businesses. So I think, yeah, the ability to change on a sixpence, I think that's going to be the key to all businesses going forward.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
With all of this that's gone on, you coach some people, and you sort of like think they are uncoachable, and you speak to others that are coachable.
Yeah.
Is that right, or you know, is everybody coachable?
I've only come across 2 people who aren't coachable. One, I suspect, is a sociopath.
Okay, that's worrying.
I've spoken to other coaches, and there was one on my NLP for business coaches group, and she said, yeah, in 30 years, I've come across 4 sociopaths. So occasionally one of those will pop, very, very rarely. And then the other one was just, I just don't want to know. I'm just not interested. And you're like, well, that's absolutely fine. Then you move on. You move on and you extract yourself from that business or that client and that relationship. But the vast majority really embrace it because they find it extremely useful and helpful and reassuring and supportive.
Yeah, no, Peter's just come on and said that, what's he put here? Ashley said he wanted to prioritize where he puts his business energies. And that's the key thing. That's what we discussed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I had, I don't know, 9 or 10 different things that I was doing.
Yeah.
And now, if you want to work with me, it's either 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Which is a higher service than I was doing before, because we discussed about, it's not just LinkedIn, it's business development.
It is.
So I've got a program where I can help people. More corporate training.
Good.
So I'm targeting that properly, and I've already delivered a couple since we last spoke. So
Good.
Yep, you're on the button. And more public speaking, which is, I love that. And literally just this morning, I've had a message in, somebody wants me to go and do another talk. So it's just finding the right things.
Yeah.
And I haven't had all that stress of trying to fill a workshop in the middle of the summer.
Because it's hard. Filling workshops is really hard.
Yeah,
it is.
But you see, I don't know if you do much on YouTube, but when you go into YouTube, you're watching something on, I don't know, I've been watching AI videos recently,
Right.
How to use ChatGPT. And every now and again, this coach comes on and stop doing that. If you need to do this, and and basically they're paying an absolute fortune for all these adverts in the vain hope that a few people click on the link and then end up into their funnel. That's not the way to do business, is it?
It's a way to do business. It's not my chosen way of doing business. If they're paying for ads and it's working for them, good luck to them. Our approach is more subtle than that. We do have funnels, and you need funnels, I think, in this day and age, definitely. Ours are much gentler than that. And for the first time ever, we're going to, not ever actually, but for the first time, we're going to do it properly. We're going to do some direct advertising on Facebook and Instagram to sell some of our course packages, business development for business coaches, as a bundle. Now, the last time we tried to do that was 3 years ago, and we had an app and it was a complete disaster and we had no idea what we were doing. We've got a much better idea what we're doing, and we've got a much better way of talking to people. And we know we absolutely have a tried, tested product that works. So there are different ways. And I think once you've built up your service side of the business, that might be something that you revisit. But it's always how you do it. So there are really terrible, cheesy ways of doing it.
Oh, and you see them on YouTube.
Yeah, you do. And then there are really good value-led ways of doing it. I like delivering much more value than people ever pay for. Yeah.
And a lot of what you've said. Have you never read The Pumpkin Plan by Mike Michalowicz?
No, I haven't. I'd never heard of it until you mentioned it today.
Right. So he was on my show last week, and a lot of what you're saying is exactly what he says in his book. Right. So you're preaching to the converted. Right. Rebecca, that is the end of my show. That is the end of an era. That is the end of 15 minutes for accountants and bookkeepers, although I've always done 30 minutes. Closing off, I believe you've got a book coming out soon. How do we get hold of that?
I do. It's not out till December. It's called Building Businesses from the Inside Out. I would encourage the accountants and bookkeepers to look at it, because as we know, Ashley, the landscape is changing for those people. And we train you in our methodology that you can then use with your clients. So if you don't want to come and do our course online, get the book out in December, definitely, because that will add to your practice. That will be another string to your bow that you can do value add for your clients. We've got business development for business coaches coming out, and I'm just running a pilot for NLP for business coaches. The actual full-blown course will be out in September. So there's lots going on, as always.
Fantastic. NLP. Is that something I should be learning to do?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we need to have a chat about that later. So as this is my last show, I better tell everybody where you're going to be able to find me, because I'm still doing my Tuesday show. Good. And the reason this came about, because one of my last questions to you during our coaching session was, do I carry on doing this? And you said carry on because you love doing it. But what I'm finding is when people want to book me for coaching, I can't do a Tuesday or a Wednesday because I've got to dash back and do a show. So I'm thinking, right, I'll make Mondays my day in the office, Fridays my day in the office, because I do not want to be doing training up in wherever and travel all the way down the M5 on a Friday evening with all the holiday traffic. So by doing all of this, it will free up Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So if you want me for corporate training, I can do any of those days. All these things, they work themselves out, don't they?
They really do. Yeah. And that's how I run my diary. Monday and Friday are my office days, because clients normally want you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. And some exciting news. On a Friday, I would be doing a new show with a couple of co-hosts. And so what we'll be doing I'm going to call it for Friday Club. We're just going to be having a chat and bringing in the odd guest now and again. So if you want to come and join us, because you've got so much to help other business owners. So we'll be doing that on a Friday. That's coming second week of September, but we'll talk about that in due course. But Rebecca, thank you very much for coming. Thank you to everybody that's watched, listened, downloaded the podcast and all that sort of thing. And thank you for changing my life, Rebecca.
Oh, pleasure, Ashley. Thank you for everything you've done too. Really appreciate it.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everybody. And cheerio.
You get out what you put in.